What is going on YouTube, the Lone PC Gamer here, and today I'm bringing you episode 5 of Lone's Gaming News, and I just wanted to thank everyone again for showing such an amazing support to this series, my channel, and my videos. You guys are amazing. This is episode 5, the 5th consecutive week where I tell you guys the latest in gaming news across all platforms, not just the PC. So let's get this segment started off, shall we? First up on the list is EA is holding a Battlefield 4 event on March 26th. This is to celebrate the new age of Battlefield that we are getting into. This will be part of the 2013 Game Developers Conference that takes place the 25th through the 29th in San Francisco, California. Battlefield 4 was announced publicly in July of 2012 with a beta invite for players who pre-ordered Medal of Honor Warfighter. So Battlefield 4 is for next-gen consoles, but we didn't know that at the time we pre-ordered Medal of Honor. So I wonder which console the beta will be for. Is it going to be for current gens, or will EA have a bunch of pissed off people when they announce that it's going to be for next-gen consoles? The second piece of news I have for you today is that Resident Evil 6 and Left 4 Dead 2 will be doing some crossover promotion, some collaboration there, where enemies and playable characters will be brought to either game. This won't happen until April 5th, however, even though Resident Evil 6 launches for PC on the 22nd of March. This crossover only takes place on PC for Resident Evil 6 and must be played on No Mercy mode. Alice, Coach, Nick, and Rochelle from Left 4 Dead 2 will be playable characters of Resident Evil 6. Two infected zombies, the Witch and the Tank, will also make an appearance in that game. Resident Evil 6 enemies, the Napid, the Ogremon, and the La Batista, will be seen sometime this spring in Left 4 Dead 2. There will be some cool D&D Capcom games coming to Xbox Live Arcade and PS3. These games are Tower of Doom and Shadow over Mystara. These old school games are from the early 90s, well 1990 to be exact, and they are side-scrolling games which they bring in a little bit of RPG functions into them. It's kind of a side-scrolling beat-em-up sort of game. These games haven't been around since they were on the Sega Saturn, and the prices for these two games is unknown, and the developers didn't want to comment any further on that matter. Now, Saints Row 4 will be available August 20th, but not for the Wii U like some speculated. This game will be for current-gen consoles, meaning the Xbox 360, the PS3, and PC. This is only for North America as far as the release date goes, and the rest of the world will have to wait a little bit for their release date, and no date has been set for them yet. A company known as Deep Silver purchased the developer and game for $22.3 million while THQ was in the middle of its bankruptcy in January. There was actually an auction held for certain series and rights from THQ, so Deep Silver went ahead and bought the series and the rights. The story continues where 3 left off, but this time the head of the Saints is the President of the United States and tries dealing with an alien invasion. Now, these invaders have put the Saints into a quote-unquote bizarro steelport simulation, and as a player you must fight these invaders with a variety of superpowers to free the world from them. And following the cancellation of Saints Row, the Thirds Enter the Dominatrix, THQ said this content would be a part of the next game. So for those of you that were disappointed when Thirds Enter the Dominatrix was canceled, don't worry. Most of that content will make it into this game. In other news, Dead Space 3 knocks Black Ops 2 off the top spot as far as game sales go for the month of February. In February, Dead Space 3 sold 605,000 copies according to GameSpot today. Also, Crysis 3 sold 260,000 copies from February 19th through March 3rd. So only 12 days and the game is an instant hit. Crytek claims that Crysis 3 is by far their best game to date and considered a masterpiece. The Wii U has had a rough start come 2013, and the sales are less than an average week for the current gen consoles. They are increasing slightly, however, from 57,000 sold in January to 64,000 sold in February. Microsoft was the only manufacturer other than Nintendo to announce hardware sales for the month of February and sold a whopping 302,000 consoles for that month. To date, the Wii U has sold over 3 million consoles, and Nintendo says that this console needs a blockbuster game to get things going. And they have some great ones in development. Now, well, that doesn't make too much sense to me. Why not wait on releasing the console when you actually have some games people want to play, and throw some software support in there while you're at it. People want to play this game called The Last Guardian. The Last Guardian has been in development since 2009, and the development seems to be dragging their feet. The story, from what little we know, is of a boy and his dog type of tale, much like Fable in my mind. But your dog is instead a giant feathered sort of thing. To be honest, not much more has been said about the gameplay, just that you and your companion navigate the world figuring out environmental puzzles. This is a Team Ico game from Sony, and development is being helped by third-party developers. Moving on, Civilization: A Brave New World was announced recently and is for the PC and Mac only. This is a second expansion for the game and is geared around changing the game's culture and diplomacy, and gives us 9 new civilizations, 8 new wonders, and 2 new scenarios. Now I have a few game releases to talk about as well while we wrap this episode up here. Gears of War Judgment releases the 19th for the Xbox 360. This game is a prequel to all the others and takes you back to the aftermath of Emergence Day, where you fight to save Halvo Bay from an unstoppable enemy. Resident Evil 6 releases the 22nd for PC, and it is set in China and continues the fight against the undead that we're all familiar with. It should be pretty good. I think I'm going to buy it. The Walking Dead Survival Instinct releases for all platforms the 19th and is a first-person shooter, and it's based off the TV series everybody loves and involves Darrell Dixon and his brother Merle on a journey across Georgia's countryside. Assassin's Creed 3 The Betrayal releases the 19th and is number 2 of 3 DLC for the Tyranny of King Washington. Now that pretty much wraps up all the big game releases and gaming news I have for today. Not too many game releases this time around, but because there's simply not that much going on this week. But those games are going to be pretty sick, so be sure to check them out. I want to thank you guys for stopping by and catching out this episode of Loans Gaming News. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button on your way out, and I'll catch you guys later. Take care.